So good morning all. In today's lecture, we are continuing with the unit number 3, that is structure query language. In the last lecture, we have seen select basic query structure, and then we have seen select clause, from clause, and where clause. So in today's lecture, we are going to learn more about the structure query language. So we begin with the from clause. We have covered this in the last unit, but Cartesian product we need to understand in today's lecture, which is present in the from clause as well as in the where clause. Then we are going to learn the rename operation. You can do the rename operation while querying over the database. Then we are going to learn string operations. What are the different string operations you can query over on the string data types. Then we are going to learn ordering the display of tuples. Ordering the display of tuples. Then we are going to learn more about the different predicates in the where clause. You can use different predicates in the where clause that we are going to see. At the end, I will give some time for question answer session. Then starting with the from clause. So the from clause listed the relation involved in the query. So what is the use of this from clause is, as we have seen in the last lecture, it includes the relations. Okay. For example, select star from student. Student is a relation. So this from clause includes the relations. So it corresponds to the Cartesian product operation of the relational algebra. We are going to see it. What is Cartesian product that I have said in the last lecture. We are going to cover it in the next lecture. So find the Cartesian product of instructor and teachers. These are the two relations. Instructor is a relation and teachers is a relation, and this symbol is used to denote the Cartesian product. So how to find the Cartesian product of these two relations? So basically this Cartesian product is formed when you write the query like this. Select star from, as we have seen in the last lecture in the from clause, where we used only one relation. So now here we have used two relations into the from clause, and once you make use of these two relations into a from clause, it will produce the Cartesian product. So what is this Cartesian product is? It generates every possible instructor teachers pair. It will generate every possible instructor and teachers pair with all attributes from both the relations. With all attributes from both the relations. For example, for common attributes ID, the attribute in the resulted table are renamed using the relation name instructor.id. If suppose there is common attribute in the instructor and teachers, it will denote like instructor.id. So what is this Cartesian product? We are going to learn it with the help of diagram. Before that, I am going to again repeat the same concept so that you will understand it. What is this Cartesian product of instructor and teacher's relation is? It will generate every possible instructor-teacher's pair, and it will include all the attributes from both the relations. It is called as Cartesian product. And common attributes like ID, it is renamed using instructor.id. So now before learning it in detail, the Cartesian product not very useful directly. Here it is, we have used it directly, but useful combined with the where clause condition. So it is mostly used in the where clause condition. So now we are going to learn about what is exactly Cartesian product. So what is Cartesian product? Just see, suppose this is my relation instructor. This is my relation instructor that we have learned in the last 2-3 lectures. So instructor is a relation. ID this ID, name, department name and salary are the attributes of the instructor. And suppose these values are present in these respective tuples, that is roles. In the first, Srinivasan, computer science, 65,000 salary. Similarly, some records are present in this instructor relation. So that we have seen how to identify entities, how to identify entity sets, and how to find the relations, and then how to create the tables. We have seen it in the up to last lecture. Now I have another relation. Name of the relation is teachers. So this teachers relation will have ID, course ID, section ID, semester and year as attributes of the teachers relation. And similarly, it will consist different records for these attributes. The semesters are fall, spring, and so on, having different course ID, and for different sections with the different IDs. This is the two relations. First is instructor and next one is teachers. So what is Cartesian product? Cartesian product means every tuple in the first relation, that is instructor, is mapped with every tuple in the second relation. So this is first tuple is mapped with the first tuple in the teachers. It will again map to the next tuple in the teachers. It again map to the third tuple in the teachers. Again it will map to the fourth tuple in the teachers. Again it will map to the fifth tuple in the teachers. Again it will map to the last tuple in the teachers. We are assuming this much records are present in the teachers and this much records present in the instructor. Similarly, the second row will map to the every tuple in the teachers. So it will map to the first tuple it will map to the second tuple, it will map to the third tuple, it will map to the fourth tuple, it will map to the fifth, and also it will map to the sixth tuple. So this is called as Cartesian product. This is called as Cartesian product. I will move back and again I am reading this. What is this Cartesian product is? It generates every possible instructor-teaches pair with all attributes from the both the relations. Now you can understand what is the meaning of this statement and what is this Cartesian product. It will check for generate every possible instructor-teaches pair with all attributes from both the relations. So now how it will look like? It will look like this. And this is called as Cartesian product. This is called as Cartesian product of instructor and teaches. Instructor and teaches. Just see this ID 10101 and it will map to this up to this, and it is mapped to all the tuples present in the teaches. All the tuples present in the teaches. Just see. Similarly, this second tuple 12121, this one, this tuple is mapped to all the tuples in the teaches, and it will have every possible matching relations tuples and having all attributes. So all the attributes of the instructor are present over here, and all the attributes of teachers will be present over here. And ID attribute is similar in both the relations, and it will denote it in the Cartesian product as this instructor.id, here it is, and this teachers.id, it will display over here. And this is called as Cartesian product. This is called as Cartesian product. Again, I am repeating because you need to understand it clearly so that you will understand how query is exactly executed behind the scene and how complex might be to retrieve a small amount of data from different relations. So here it is. Select star from instructor teaches, and this will produce the Cartesian product. What is this Cartesian product is? It generates every possible instructor teaches pair with all attributes from both the relations. Now you can understand this statement very clearly. What is meant by every possible pair and what is meant by it will include all the attributes. So Cartesian product of instructor and teaches, it will look like this. Every tuple in the instructor will map to every tuple present in the teaches, and it will record it like this. And this is your Cartesian product. This is your Cartesian product. Moving forward, there are some more examples wherein this Cartesian product happen behind the scene. Find the name of all instructor who have taught some course and the course ID. Find the name of all instructor who have taught same course and course ID. So select name and course ID. What we require? Instructor who taught some course and course ID. Course name of the instructor is present in the instructor table, whereas course ID is present in the teachers. So we require these two relations, instructor and teachers, to retrieve the data. So how we have to write the query? We have to write the query like this. Select name, comma, course ID from instructor, comma, teachers. From instructor, comma, teachers. And we require this where condition. Instructor ID, instructor.id is equal to teachers.id. You need to retrieve the course ID from the teachers whose instructor ID is same in both the relations. This ID is present in both the relations, teachers as well as instructor. So you need to match it. Then only you will get the correct course ID of that particular instructor who is taught that course. And behind the scene, at this stage, Cartesian product is implemented. How this query will be executed? This query will be executed. First of all, Cartesian product is formed. Okay, by using this condition, and then from this it will retrieve the name and course ID. It will retrieve the name and course ID. So this is how the Cartesian product will help us to retrieve the data from the two relations, instructor and teachers. We have seen only one relation in the last lecture. Now we are learning how to retrieve the data from the two relations. How to retrieve the data from the two relations. And for that, you need to understand the Cartesian product concept. And this is how to retrieve the result of this query, the Cartesian product is formed and it will retrieve the name of the instructor and course ID taught by that instructor. And this is how you have to query over the database to get the result of this query statement. Next, suppose the query is like this. This is called as query statement. Query is like this. Find the name of all instructors in the art department. Suppose art is a department and query is find the name of all instructors in the art department who have taught some course and course ID. Means you have to retrieve the name of the instructor present in the art department and who has taught some course and course ID. So for that purpose, you need to require two relations. First one is instructor and next one is teachers. Instructor and teachers. So what you require, it is already said, find the name of all the instructors. Okay, so you need to have name in the select clause and then you have to mention the course ID. Some course and course ID. Here it is course ID. And you need to mention from clause instructor and teachers. And what is the condition in this statement is you need to have name of all the instructors in the art department. So here it is the condition. Instructor.department name is equal to art. Department name is equal to art. And when you perform any retrieving any data from the two relations, you need to have one common attribute. Here it is ID is common attribute. And with the help of this statement, instructor.id is equal to teachers.id, it will retrieve the tuples which matches this instructor ID. And then it will look for the department name in the result. And then it will retrieve name and course ID of those instructor who belongs to art department. So this is how you have to query over the database to get the result of this statement. So you need to read this problem query statement carefully. You have to understand what you have to retrieve, and you need to understand what are the different conditions you need to complete the problem, complete the query statement. So here it is, the condition is the art department, all the instructors from the art department. So this condition we have put it in the where clause. And what we require, name and course ID. And these two informations are present in the instructor and teachers relation. So once you identify, you need to retrieve the data from the two relations. You need to identify the common attribute, and you have to give the condition instructor.id is equal to teachers.id. And this is the AND operator. You can use it in the where clause to get the department name, instructor from the department name art. So this is how you need to think logically, and you have to query over the relations. So moving forward, next is rename. What is mean by rename operation? So the SQL allows renaming relations and attributes using the as clause. It will use the as clause to rename the relations or attributes. You can rename the relations as well as you can rename the attributes. So how to use this clause, as clause? So this is the simple way to use the as clause. This is the old name. Then you have to mention the as clause. And this is your new name. This is the way to use the as clause. Now just see with the help of example how to use the as clause. Suppose the query is like this. Find the name of instructor who have higher salary than some instructors in computer science. Find the name of all instructor who have a higher salary than some instructor in computer science department. So how to write the query? You have to write the query like this. Select distinct t.name from instructor as t. Now see, for this instructor relation, we have renamed it as t using this as clause. And this rename operation name we have used in the query over here, a distinct t.name. T.name is instructor.name. Instructor.name means the name attribute present in the instructor. The name attribute present in the instructor. So we are retrieving the name attribute present in the instructor. Again, comma, we are giving another name to the same table instructor as yes. Okay, as yes. So what is the statement over here? We need to retrieve the instructor who have higher salary than some instructor in computer science. So this is mentioned using the where clause. Where T dot salary is greater than S dot salary. And this is called as self join. So, and it will check whether that salary is greater than T dot salary is greater than S dot salary. And it will also check with the department name computer science. Department name is equal to computer science. And it will give name of the instructor who have the higher salary. Who have a higher salary. And which is already mentioned in the queries instructor in the computer science. That's why we have mentioned over here S dot department name is equal to computer science. So this is the way to use the as clause in the query. You can rename this instructor as T. You can rename this instructor as S. Similarly, you can rename the attributes also. This as keyword is optional. Optional means you may write the as clause or you may omit the as clause. For example, this instructor as T, here it is, we have mentioned instructor as T is similar to instructor T. It is similar to instructor T. Both are same. This instructor as T, it indicates you are renaming this instructor as T, and you are saying instructor T means you are renaming this instructor to T. This as is optional, means you can omit this as also. So in queries, we will find the instructor T. Instructor T means you are giving this T name to this instructor. Or simply this is the rename operation. You are renamed this instructor as a T. So moving forward, we are going to learn about the string operations. What are the string operations? So before proceeding, you need to understand this simple symbols, percentages, underscore. So what is this percentage? The percentage is used for character matching of any substring. We'll see this with the help of example so that you can understand it in better way. Likewise, underscore symbol is used for character matches any character. Character matches any character. So this SQL includes a string matching operator for comparison on character strings. The operators like uses pattern that are described using two special characters. This is the percentage, and next one is underscore. And this is used in the like clause. It is used in the like clause. For example, find the name of instructor whose name includes the substring DAR. Suppose you need to retrieve the name of all the instructor whose name include a substring DAR. Or for student relation, if suppose I may mention, find the name of all the student who lives whose address include a substring in double quote you can mention Sangli, or you can mention Kolhapur, or you can mention the Satara. Means if suppose you want to retrieve all the students who are locating in Sangli, or locating in Kolhapur, or locating in Satara. So we are following this query now. Find the name of all the instructors whose name includes the substring DAR. So how to write this query? Simply, this is the way to write the query. Select name. What we require? It is mentioned over here. Find the name of all instructors. Find the name of all instructors. So I have mentioned here over here, select name from instructor, and where name, and you have to use the like clause, like, and you have to mention this DR using the percentage symbol in the query like this. In single quote you have to mention the percentage, then you have to mention this substring DAR, and you have to end it using the percentage at the end of the single quotation. So this is the way to mention this DAR, that is substring. So it will matches this DAR as a substring in any name, and if it will find the substring is present, then it will retrieve that particular name. So this is how this percentage operator is used for matching any substring. So suppose this is the string and you need to match it 100%. So you need to mention like this, like 100, then /%. You have to use the escape, this slash. So this is the special thing. Once, if suppose you want to identify a particular substring as 100%, so you need to mention like this, like 100/% escape slash. So moving forward, patterns are case sensitive. Keep in mind, whenever you are matching any patterns, these patterns are case sensitive. So these are the examples of pattern matching. So intro %, what this indicates? It matches any substring beginning with intro. Next is %comp, percentage. What does it mean? It matches any string containing computer that comp as substring. Next is in single quote 3 times underscore. What does it mean? It means it matches any string of exactly 3 characters. Next, in single quotation, there are 3 underscores and then %. What does it mean? It means it matches any string of at least 3 characters. So these are some of the string operations you can use in your query as per the requirement of the query statement. So SQL support a variety of string operations, such as it will support also the concatenation using this vertical 2 times line, converting from upper to lower case or vice versa. It will also use to find the length of the string, extracting substring, etc. So such operations can also support by the SQL. So ordering the display of tuples. Suppose you need to find out the result and you need to display that particular result in particular order. So at that time, you can do this with the help of ordering the display of the tuples. Place the alphabetic order the name of all instructors. If you want to sort it, all the instructor name alphabetically, you can do this with the help of this query. Select distinct. Now you are familiar with this distinct keyword. It will retrieve only the. It will remove the duplicate. It will retrieve only the distinct values. Select distinct name from instructor, and this is the way you have to mention. You have to. This is the clause. This clause is called as order by clause, and you have to mention the name of the attribute from which you need to do the order. Order by name. Order by name. So this will display the name alphabetically because you have mentioned this order by clause in the query. We may specify descending for descending order or ascending, that is ASC for ascending order for each attribute. Ascending order is by default. So this is your by default ascending order. If you want descending order, just mention this statement with this statement order by name and then descending DESC. So it will show the names in descending order. You can sort on multiple attributes also. Just only thing is that you have to mention order by department name, comma name. So you can order by with multiple attributes.